How much saving Americans need to save for retirement? How much do US adults think they need to save for retirement? Gabriel Cortes source. The horizontal bars show the average amounts that US adults think they need to save, at least $1.3 million for retirement, along with the average amounts they currently have saved, broken down by age bracket. Northwestern Mutual online survey of 2,740 US adults conducted in 2023. Gen Z is the most confident they'll be financially prepared for retirement when the time comes. Older generations are more pessimistic. More than half of Gen X say they won't be ready, and nearly half of millennials and boomers not yet retired say the same. Would love to see perception based on how much they've saved rather than age. Seems age isn't interesting. 1.2 millimeters is more or less same as 1.6 millimeters in terms of lifestyle. Might find 99 of everyone with 100k think a million is enough because it sounds big, and the few with a million think it's not even close. We might be learning what we estimate we need from people that can't fathom how to get there. It all depends on what your expenses will be. Of course Gen Z says they'll be ready. They're young and probably don't have a full understanding of how saving for retirement works and what it takes. As a general guideline, you need to shoot for 3x salary by 40. If you don't get to 1x by 30, it's okay. Not everybody starts their career at the same time and you have time to catch up. If you don't have at least 500k by age 50, you've got a problem. Of course the Northwest Mutual guy recommends a flipping annuity. Hawking insurance in an interview. Annuities are rarely a good option for the people who buy them. Shameless jerks. I can't stand NWM. My wife and I have about $1 million in savings and collectively make about $180,000 a year. I'm shooting for $2 million before I go part-time and $2.5 million before I think about full retirement. I'm 46. She's 42. It does seem that younger generations are doing better at saving their money proportionally. 50s, 60s, 70s barely touching six figures. With the cultural shift away from pensions and into Social Security probably having an effect, younger generations seem to understand that SS won't really be reliable in 40 years when they will need it. Start saving soon, and saving a lot is the lesson, 'cause you only have yourself to blame if you come up short. Still working in my 60s. How much do I need to retire? Would several million get one by until they die? Mom retired with just under 340k 8 years ago and is doing fine. It certainly helps that she has zero debt and minimal expenses though. This age-old question really should be answered by retirees. They know their current situations and how much more they wished they had to be retired comfortably. I retired early. I haven't reached the age to claim Social Security, and my take for a single person is $2 million and $3.5 million for a retired couple. A mortgage-free home is a plus. Then you takes the numbers and adjust them for inflation. Food, shelter, and clothing. Savings, emergency savings, 401k, Roth IRA, investing. Investing is a marathon, not a sprint. You can't predict how much you will need because you have no idea what the cost of living will be by then, what your own expenses will be, or what return you will actually get on your investments. But if you consistently put away 15 of your earnings, a little more if you can, you should be fine. Own your home, have zero outstanding debt, and have the ability to bring in at minimum 30k a year while retired. At least $2 million so that I can have a good time and maybe leave something for my kids. I don't mean to sound like an entitled cunt, but how in the world does anyone make it to 50, 60, 70 with only $100,000 in their retirement accounts? Even assuming the median income for 2024 $38,000, 0 raises ever, and 3 savings, you should have over $100,000 by 50. What they think they need and what they actually need are two different things. My assumption is Social Security won't be there when I retire. This way it'll just be extra money if it does survive. I'm assuming that I need at least 4-6 million to retire comfortably. I am married, so I'll need enough money to cover both of us in retirement and put a few kids through college. I can't believe that people think 2 million is enough, especially if you are looking to retire in 20 years when that is not nearly as much buying power due to inflation. The biggest retirement worry was declining health, with 44, followed closely by outliving savings, with 43, and boredom, with 31. All of these problems could be solved by cultivating an active lifestyle. None of these people have remotely enough saved. It's scary. This is interesting because it shows most people are clueless about their pensions and want much more than they need. Every single one of these cohorts reckon they needed 1 mil, and yet not a single one has managed to get 1/9 of their expectations, yet still managed to retire perfectly well. Looking at the chart of expected dollar needed versus currently saved dollar, this seems to be more fantasy than anything else. A 60-year-old thinks they'll need something like $950,000 and has a little over $100,000 saved. The numbers aren't realistic. I can see why Gen Z says they are the most comfortable, they have the most time. Gen Z is the most confident they'll be financially prepared for retirement when the time comes. Well, they have the longest timeline available of all the groups, and they haven't lived through 4 major recessions already to taint their perspective. These articles always boggle my mind and make me feel grateful for starting early, even if it was meager savings in the beginning. Making $25,000 a year and barely hitting a couple thousand in investments annually in early to mid-20s. My husband and I, 35,37 now, have $1 million cash investments together and $400,000 equity in our house. We make $450,000 annually, though our salaries increased by 50 only in the last few years. We live in a medium-collar area and live comfortably well below our means, which has helped us expedite savings. Most of the working class of today will work until they die. Lesson: don't be the working class. Be the one who owns capital. Guess I'll just start saving for unlimited avocado toast instead. It doesn't matter how much you save. What really matters is how much you spend. It becomes harder when you are planning to live off your savings for a long time, as so many things, especially your health, could go wrong. In a country like the US with an awful medical system, you can blow your entire savings due to an illness. I'm out of the US when my time comes. America is the real shithole country when you account for medical bills, and private insurance for seniors. It's over 9,000 for sure, smiley face. The link in the article shows most Americans when they hit age 40, they have only $77.4 thousand, age 50 just $110.9 thousand. The numbers kind stops at age 50s. After 70s they start drawing from age 50 limited savings. More than you can earn in a lifetime. It just feels wrong to work your entire life and when you're old and in pain finally get to retire. That is if you don't die by then. Jesus Christ, I need to save up. Some of the comments here make me want to throw up about my own situation. At least 2 million. My buddy at work has the same retirement plan I do. We will stretch our funds until we run out and they eat a bullet. It is what it is. I am flattered. Some of the commentaries appear to be very useful. Thank you. If you have your home paid off, you can realistically live off $2.5 thousand, $3K a month in Social Security, with no other income. Personally, I could realistically live off $2,000 a month or less. Of course, if you're under 50, Social Security might not be around in the same form when you retire. One reason to fund your retirement accounts. How many people under 45 are making over 100K a year? To be able to save over $1 million for retirement? Seems like a pipe dream. Lol.